This PowerPoint is for students who've opted to study Design and Technology A-Level, both Design and Technology Fashion and Textiles or Design and Technology Product Design. Studying A-Level Design and Technology challenges you to explore ideas freely, thinking creatively and avoiding fixated solutions. You'll find yourself working in DT in your free periods and taking greater control over your own learning and idea development. We actively encourage our A-Level students to make Newton House their study space, and to help you do this, provide you with a storage space. We have chosen OCR as the exam board we're going to follow for your A-Level. Both the Fashion, Textiles and the Product Design form part of this suite of qualifications and share several areas in common. To achieve your A-Level, you'll complete an NEA Iterative Design Project. This is your major coursework and is worth 50% of your A-Level. You'll also, at the end of Year 13, sit 2 papers, one of which that tests your knowledge and understanding of generic design and technology, manufacturing and wider social issues within design, and another paper with longer answer questions that requires you to respond to some materials that are provided on the day. At the top of this slide you can see a table. This shows when the units are completed. The NEA, or Major Design coursework, is completed up until the Easter holidays in Year 13 and is handed in immediately after that break. The 2 exams occur in June of Year 13. In both Year 12 and Year 13 there are 3 double lessons a week, and in Year 12 we concentrate on short and mid-length design and make projects to prepare you for your NEA. These projects also include some theory work that's linked directly to the content in the project and some standalone theory lessons for content that doesn't sit naturally within those projects. In Year 13 it's slightly different. We're obviously concentrating on your major coursework by that stage, and that uses up usually 2 of the 3 double lessons. The remaining double lesson will include some additional theory work, either repeating what's gone before to greater depth or new content that is required for the A-Level exam that summer. This slide is for students who've chosen to study product design. There are images and photographs of products that have been made by students in Year 12. You can see at the middle bottom of the page some of the work that's completed for the skills units, where we explore the use of materials in greater depth and accuracy as a challenge. Towards the right hand side of the page you can see the first practice NEA. Here the students are challenged to design and make a plant stand to support an individual plant. Down at the bottom right you can see a design that's been cleverly developed to come apart and fold away for storage. The exploded drawing top right is where students thought about how their product could open and close and adjust for different size pots, and in the middle we can see some of the modelling that's done prior to making. At the bottom left of the page you can see some 3D CAD work. We do some 3D printing in the spring term, and you'll be challenged to make a cover for a USB stick. So not only do you improve your own 3D CAD work, but you'll also have a useful product to take away with you at the end. Top left you can see the second and final practice NEA project. This is based on the theme of biomimicry, and for this students are using the laser cutter and polypropylene sheeting to make a lampshade. They've used inspiration from nature to come up with their ideas, and as you can see we assembled the products using a pop riveter. This slide is for the students who've opted to pick fashion textiles. Top left on the page you can see some shirt images. Now this is a skills project that runs for most of the autumn term, as students are expected to make a formal shirt, and there's lots of challenges here in terms of manufacturing collars and buttonholing and cuffs and accurate shaping and pleating as well. So it's quite a difficult product to actually manufacture. We look at skills and we look at fabric assembly, so we can experiment with some weaving. Towards the middle of the page, you can see our first practice NEA, where we'll look at upcycling and taking denim garments and manufacturing them into something else more useful when they've reached the end of their natural life. At the bottom of the page, you can see the same USB CAD work that the students in product design do, and that's because you do the same project. 3D printing is just as important for textiles as it is for product design. To the left, you can see some Adobe Illustrator work, and we will look at using CAD for fashion illustration as well. Again, like the product design students, you complete a biomimicry project, but instead of making a lampshade, you'll be using the laser cutter and felt to manufacture hats. The next slides will show you some examples of Year 13 major projects that have been completed over the last few years. Unlike GCSE and Year 12, you're not set a context by the exam board, so there's a great deal of freedom for you in terms of your choice. The challenge is finding a design problem that you feel will generate some interesting design. On this page, you can see lots of Year 13 product design products. They range from items of furniture, such as the hexagonal modular tables and the student desks, through to lighting. We have a fitness bench that folds to go into the back of a car. We have a small greenhouse that has a watering system, and there's even a vinyl record box collection up at the top right. Then in the middle, we can see some really nice user-centered design where the student built a doll's house that used sustainable energy, so it became an educational toy for children. So when you choose your NEA, you have to think really carefully about the purpose of your product. On this slide, we can see the Year 13 Textiles NEAs. Again, we have a mixture of products here. To the left, you can see the very dark grey dress, which was a very well-made piece. What made this one interesting was that the user could swap the sleeves to make the product more versatile. We've then got the lilac dress in the middle, and you can see some 3D printing work where the student developed her own buttons, and again that allowed for things to be added and taken away from the garment. You can also see some of the design work that went with that project. On the right hand side, we can see a reversible bodice with sleeves that come on and go off, and we can see some clever children's designs. The little pink dress is designed to grow with the child. Again, this is really good user-centered design because the student was thinking about the challenges parents have to overcome where children are growing so quickly and clothes seem to be grown out of before they've barely been used. Underneath that is another adaptable garment where things can be added and taken away depending on the wearer's needs. As you can see on both of these slides, the students have clearly made lots and lots of decisions along the way and chosen their own themes. These have not been themes set by us for either the fashion textiles or the product design. This slide shows some examples of design pages, and I've included them because they show really well how carefully students think about detail within their design at A-level, and also working with other people, so we can see that third parties have been interviewed as part of the design process. On these fashion textile pages, again you can see students' inspiration, we can see a range of different drawing styles and also some elements of modelling. This slide has been included to show how important modelling is at A-level. Of course it was also at GCSE, but at A-level you will spend a considerable amount of time exploring your own ideas and sometimes doubling back and changing and adapting ideas and frequently deciding when something is worth continuing with and when something needs to be modified or removed altogether. If you have any further questions or there is anything you don't understand, having listened to and worked your way through this PowerPoint, please feel free to email me. You can see my address on this slide. Also, Also, if you look on the website, you'll see the summer task for A-level D&T is there. There are some suggestions of things you might like to do to actually broaden your knowledge, whether it's watching programs and practicing sketching skills and researching the wider world of design, and also a task that must be completed ready for your return, which is about exploring in more detail one of the designers from the list provided. Have a wonderful summer, and we look forward to seeing you in September, ready to start your A-level in Design and Technology.